You're muted. I can't hear you. You muted yourself.
Yeah, that way I can yell at the kids in the background.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I'm live. Hey, y'all, we are not going. It says it's okay. It's totally okay. I'm going to go in here and see. I was trying to tag you in it. Okay. Mm, there we go. I sent it to the messenger. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us. We getting a little late start for lunch and learn today. I am Tasha, the founder of Talk to Tasha. I get overextended social workers to stop working herself to death so she can start living her life like it's golden. We know that March is Social Work Appreciation Month. It's been a busy month for me. I had a birthday this month. I celebrate all month. So pushing up on 50, I just really did not want this month to go by without acknowledging Social Work Appreciation Month. Today, we're not going to delay. You guys can share this with other folks. My goal in kind of pushing out the social work show that's really underway right now is to really get some resilient based programming. Okay, we're not going to sit up and trip on who slapped who today because to keep it real, I feel like slapping somebody myself. Okay, so we got to start fighting the right fights. And we also are really passionate about social work because we ourselves are, up against some challenges ourselves as human beings. And so for us to be called to do this work is really, really an honor and a gift. And so I wanted to bring the very first person. I don't even know if I told you of it, but I'm like, she the first person as far as me just kind of really going, I'm going to be doing more routinely social work based show programming. And I'm like, let's get our girl Yvette Battle back. You guys heard her before. She's very down to earth. She keeps it all the way real. And so she is a social worker over in the New York area. So, hey, April, go ahead and share this out with folks. That's probably one of your people. So let's go ahead and get started. So, Yvette, let us know what let us know a little bit about your social work journey, like how you got into the profession, what is it that you do, stuff like that.
Okay. So thank you so much for having me. What got me into social work? I actually started college because I needed something to do. I just graduated from drug rehab and I knew I needed to stay busy. And my welfare worker at the time told me she had a reform program at Westchester Community College. Before that, when I was in rehab, a lot of the girls that I was in group with, they wanted to go to college and I wanted to do what they were doing. I remember I told the vocational counselor as we were preparing for my graduation, I told him I wanted to go to college and he told me no. He told me I had too much damage to my brain and that I needed something with a shorter commitment. I told him I would come back with my degree. I started college, like I said. It was originally for chemical dependency. I soon found out that I was burnt out on that topic. And just due to circumstances of going through being in college, new to college, going through some things mentally, I had to drop some classes. And what that was when I ended up dropping the main curriculum for that and then just picking social work. Social work has gave me the opportunity to be. I'm so glad God knew what He was doing. It gave me the opportunity to be way more broad, more things I can do with my degree. I started with a human services degree, then I transferred to Lehman. At first, I didn't do well. Like at first, I don't even want to say the first semester because I got all A's and B's on the first semester. But the first couple of papers, I didn't do well because I was so far behind because of substance abuse and I had not been in school in over 20 years, but I didn't like the feeling of not getting an A. And so I stayed in the tutorial stations and I started doing very well. And then I started getting scholarships getting money for my grades. And so that motivated me to continue. And I thought for the longest I was just doing well, maybe because I was a fluke, maybe it was just an easy college. And so
Mhm.
I wasn't planning on going past my associates, and everybody was telling me, that was not enough to pay my bills. I was not going to be able to go far with just that degree. So Lehman College Recruiter came to our school. We have an agreement with both colleges that they accept all of our credits. So I was like, I might as well keep going. And I went to Lehman for my bachelor's. I literally graduated the last semester was during COVID. I had already applied for the advanced standing, and I didn't want, like, when I found out everything was going to be done because of Zoom, because of COVID, that was the for 2020. The only thing that stopped me from not dropping out is because I was like, I'm already this far. Like, I'm already like 1 year of advanced standing. Like, if I stop now, I'm not going to keep going. So
Mhm.
I said I did what I said I could never do, which is school online, school on Zoom, and I got my master's in 2021.
Yeah.
Thank you. Since then, I did pass my licensure. I've been working as a behavioral health and mental and behavioral health therapist, and I was a clinical teacher's aide in an alternative high school. And I did start my own mental wellness coaching practice. It's called the Creative Healing Place. Um, and that's where I'm at right now. Right now, I'm just like in the limbo of things because the way that the state works is they wait till after you take the license to start checking on all your background. And so I've turned in all that paperwork considering my prior charges because I do have a checkered past. They want a whole lot that I did not know. But it's okay because it's the process and they can't deny what God has already declaimed to be so. So
Amen.
yeah, I'm just waiting. That paperwork's returned. I'm just waiting for them to give me the appointment with the board. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all.
No.
Yeah.
Amen. So tell me, thank you so much for sharing that because the whole purpose of us being in this space right now, not only just to hear the testimony, but to push hope, to let folks know that we're all the same and yet different at the same time. And I heard you say you were kind of like, hey, I don't know if I can do this Zoom thing. I don't even know if I can do this college thing based on some past choices that we make, and we all make them good, bad, or indifferent. But what would you tell a person that's gonna come across this video and they're gonna say, you know what, I think I'm too old. I think, based on my past, I don't think I can ever move forward to get my studies. What would you say to that person?
I would say be realistic with what is your current state in life. I'm a believer, right? I am a Christian. I'm a minister, but at the end of the day, I'm just a servant. I do believe that what God has said is called me to do is going to be more than what I can even think of or fathom, or it doesn't match my current state, right? Because He sees my end from the beginning. So
Yes.
for me, it's walking in faith, but I know everybody doesn't have the same walk as me. So for somebody who might not have that same belief system, and even with with the Lord, it's kind of harder if you're not walking with Him to understand, like, to believe something that doesn't seem possible because it doesn't match where you're at. But you have to be realistic about. So let's just say in college, I didn't work. A girlfriend of mine the other day, she just went back to college. She's working 7 days a week. She's a mom, and she was like, "How did you do it?" I said, "I did not work." I can't even encourage you on that because I knew for me, I was 3 months clean off crack cocaine when I started college. For 15 years, I smoked crack, like in and out of jails and prison. So for me to do well in college, and then I had my son, I was going through deliverance, I was in a shelter. I wasn't even thinking about going to work too because something was going to fall off my plate. So I was on welfare and I took out student loans. 98% of my student loan is because it wasn't even for classes. I didn't need any financial aid for classes till my master, but I owed $98,000 because I needed to be comfortable while. So I said that to say, I wouldn't say, some people say you're never too old. I don't know if I agree, or everything is possible. That's not the case for everybody. You know what I'm saying? What I'm able to do, you might not be able to do. But if you believe that God has called you to something, or if it's something that you really desire, be realistic in what you have to do. Now, I'm saying don't get stuck on excuses, but be realistic. I know people You know, people can easily tell me, well, I went to college. I have a sister that got her doctorate, with twins and had 5 kids by 24. I don't think I could have, me, that's not the walk I could have done. I struggled with one that felt like 6 kids. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm not even going to, what I'm saying is be realistic about what is for you. And then therefore, once you realize what is your capabilities and what you believe for you, I would also say don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to be humbled and walk in your truth, right? So there was days where I came to New York with my son, and I was new. I literally struggled with addiction to the day I had my son. So we was walking together this whole recovery walk, this whole in college, and I didn't have no friends or family. So there was days I didn't have a babysitter. Instead of saying, "Oh, I can't go to class," he packing up these coloring book and these crowns, and you coming to class with me.
That's
Or, you know what I'm saying? He might have to miss class that day in school. All the girls loving on, all the social workers hugging him, and
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But it was like there was days I had to catch 9 buses in one day. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say, well, I don't have a ride. Like there was days I pushed the stroller in the rain, in the cold. You know that stroller when it's winter, that plastic get hard and it breaks.
yeah,
Like, but I didn't make excuses. What I wanted was, and what I know I was called to do, it preceded my feelings and my emotions. You know what I'm saying? And there's times where, yeah, I did want to tap out, and there's times I sat down, but I never tapped out. And that's the difference. No
yes,
one to sit down, no one to say, okay, you could say, girl, you got to do this. If I could do this, you could do it. Say, for me, I need to, that's not for me right now. No, I can't, like I learned real quick, I don't do all nighters. I do not study all night. I'm not writing no paper at 3 in the morning. I'd rather turn in a late paper than give you a paper at 3 in the morning because my brain is no good. So, like,
right.
those are the things you have to learn for yourself. I'm not a person that can wait before the next day to write a paper. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to learn what works for you. And then when you learn it, be walk in that. Don't try to quirk yourself according to others and what you see. See what works for you and stand in that. And with that being said, that you can't allow your age or you can't allow your past. I know for me, I have 110 charges. So if I if I was able, not I've been fingerprinted 3 times. Never has the agency said no, they can't hire me because of my past. You know what I'm saying? And, so the legals is not the issue. You know what I'm saying? If whether or not I let my mind tell me I don't deserve to be here because I'm a ex prostitute or I'm an ex drug addict. But for me, that makes me even a better social worker because I didn't just study it, I lived it. So
Yes, and
you
I want
can't
to really,
allow you can't allow the voices of the naysayers. Don't be the biggest naysayer in your own life. Don't be
no,
the main one that's sometimes we think everybody's saying thinking or something about us, and it's only our own critical
own
thoughts.
stuff.
So
Yes,
that's what I have to say. Like,
thank you so much for saying that, Yvette, because some of whoever God see fit to come across our time together here, that is the essence of hope. That is the essence of deliverance, like you said. And when the Lord deliver us, the shame that we assign to ourselves, because like when it's been my experience, I'll say, when we are not forgiving ourselves, it's easy to say, well, my sister, my coworker, my people that I know is judging me. And sometimes they got their own stuff, and in our minds we perceiving them to judge us. That's because we're not delivered from self-shame, and so we can be our biggest obstacle. And I also heard you say you decided when you had the rain, you had the baby, you went to school, you got that baby in that stroller, whether the weather conditions is what it was, you decided. Also, you decided, because I can relate to in college getting those student loans, because that is a way that you can kind of live your day-to-day expenses so you can focus on your studies. That is what women typically do. When we know how to survive, we know how to navigate resources, we know how to pull back, because hey, you're skilled in this area. That's not mine. And so you have said a whole bunch of powerful things that I just wanted to capture, because I believe when someone come across this video, the one thing we want to tell you guys as social workers on here for Social Work Appreciation Month is, A, you got to decide. And I think sis said, look, I'm a believer. I know my faith. I know my walk. We don't have it all figured out, but you know that there's something supernaturally bigger than you and I that said, based on my upbringing and downbringing and all the heaviness, that is what make a powerful social worker, because you can really pour into someone from a whole different space. And the dog is saying amen.
Amen. You know, I wanted to add something real quick if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I was also saying, also use what you have, and instead of shaming it or like feeling less than, use it for your advantage. So when I was in like the first couple semesters, like here I am in the shelter, and like here I am 32, which I felt was old, but it ain't. But I was much older than most of the girls. I mean, like it was a community college. Most of them were teeny boppers, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of things they talked about I didn't relate to, not just because I was older, but because I've been living in a crack house for 10, 15 years. And instead of me using that, and like sometimes when they would talk, I didn't really know how to, I didn't identify. But instead of me I've always been a loud person and very, talkative. I talked about my experiences. My classmates knew about my past. I've done presentations about, addiction. I've done presentations on Christ. Yes, I bring Jesus to the college class. So I didn't I used what I had for me. Like I've done papers on my past, and I've always found a way. I don't care if it's a research paper. Somehow I found a way to tell my testimony in that paper.
That's right.
You don't get this age. Get it for I got it right. You don't give it for me my story. Either way, you it is. So use what he's giving you. Right before I wrote my book, my Lord told me to stop going on public speaking, without charging and without having anything to give anybody. And he told me that God, the Lord said, I gave you a story, write that book. So he said, I gave you something that's going to feed you, like put money in your pockets. Use that. I've used it for class, used it for my book. That is what the devil meant for evil. God uses for your good. You got to use it. You got to utilize what he gave you. You can't sit around wishing if only, and I used to be like that, if only I'd started college at 19 instead of 30. Look how well I'm doing now. How smart could I have been? Could I have been at Harvard or Yale? If I sit around wondering what it's like to do, what if my life was this? What if my life was that? I'm wasting time with the life that he did give me and the cards that were dealt to me. So I can't sit around, that's coveting. I can't sit around coveting the next person's life because that's not what he gave me. And yeah, I do thinking like, what if? But that's not how it went for me. And if I had been this traditional lifestyle, then I wouldn't be able to give hope to other people that needed a open, upfront, honest person like myself, an evangelist.
Amen. Thank you so much, Yvette. So what would you say to the person who is sitting home? We're doing a Girl Get Up campaign this spring, just really encouraging women across the globe to get up, whether it's getting up in their faith, getting up in their mindset, getting up in their finances, getting up in this mindset that you too old to get married, like some of the self-defeating thoughts that hold people down. What would you say to the girl that's sitting up, and not, I say girl, but women who are sitting up and married to their problem? I don't hear you say, hi, my name is Yvette, I'm an ex, this and that. These are experiences that God allowed me to get through for such a time as this, to be a leader in this work. What would you say to that individual that's going to watch and that needs that push to get up, to get herself up? Get herself up. What would you tell her?
I would tell her that she has to remember she can't get herself. Like if I said, that's the only, like when it boils, I know I talk about, and I am going to talk about faith a lot. That's just, I can't, that's why I'm glad I can speak on that here, because I can't really, anytime I've been asked to speak, if I can't talk about my faith, then it really, I can't come on, like, because that's all I got.
That's all, yeah.
I did do a public speaker one time, it was a show about Black women with opioid addiction, which was not my thing, but they took a quote of mine and they removed Jesus out. And I didn't like that. Like, don't change. Ask me for a different quote, but don't take out what I said and then say, "Oh, to be more inclusive." That's not what I said. So, I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
That's okay. That girl, this is us.
You can't get up. You have to. Okay, I take that back. Faith without works is dead, right? So you can have faith all day long that I know I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out this situation. I know I'm going to I'm going to get out of this abusive marriage. I know I'm going to get out. I'm going to go to college. But if you, I know I'm gonna marry a godly man, but you yet you're still. Let me give it that you know you're gonna marry a man of God. That's what the prophet spoke over you. But yet you keep putting your naked, half naked pictures on Instagram stories. Then that doesn't go together with what you're saying. You know you're gonna do well and you're gonna graduate college, but you don't want to turn in a paper on time. That doesn't go with what you said. So you have to put works to your faith. Nothing's gonna happen by osmosis. So you have to have a made up mind if this is really what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you have to find the discipline. And discipline is not something that just happens. Like, I have a second book I'm supposed to be writing. I ain't wrote past the first page, and God gave it to me because I be doing this, doing things I got to do to make ends meet between waiting for my license, playing on Facebook. Let's just keep it 100, paying on Instagram, playing, doing not like I have. If God, since God has given me I'm trying to think of how to go. A goal without a plan is just a dream. So I can dream about all type of things, but it's not going to happen. That God will give you the strength. He will give you the resources, but you have to go get it. So I would say for somebody who needs that power to just get up, you have to really ask, what do I honestly want for my life? What do I honestly want for this short term or long term goal? Sometimes we look at things and we're so worried about the big focus that we forget about the, like when I have sessions with clients, I give me a week goal, a 2 week, a month, and a 3 month goal. Those little goals. I have a client that her goal is to drink 2 cups of water a day. She doesn't drink no water ever. So to get her to drink 2 bottles of water a day, we're still not there. Like, that may seem little, but it's big, because if you can do that, then eventually we can step up to you moving at your mom's house and you have your baby. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully
Yes,
the question, what I'm saying, you have to pace yourself. They say slow progress is better than no progress, but what's even better, progress is better than going backwards.
that's
Don't stay
right.
stagnated. Don't go backwards, but make some kind of steps, even if it's today. Okay, I didn't get up and get to the college campus and look at the classes, but today I found out the number. Like, something to continuously see what you're doing. Sometimes I have to write things down or even put them on my calendar on my phone so that when it happens, I know I've marked it off. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're a visual person, or if you're a person that you're motivated by instant gratification. If you're motivated by that, which can be a positive or negative thing, then find a way to reward yourself, even if it's seeing that you did it. Then
Mm-hmm.
that will motivate you to keep going. So you define what works for you and what is your learning style, because what your learning style is also your motivating style.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, you guys. I'm going to be having a vet on more often because I know there's someone, you're out there. And I know in my journey of 25 years in child welfare, I've always said that during those 20 years, 20, really 25 years total, I didn't really run across too many evil people. I ran across a lot of people who were hurting and just didn't know how to channel her pain or his pain. And so when I look at that and look at my own painful journey and how I came to Christ and how a lot of the heavy lifting he delivered and lifted up off of me, the weight in the journey, not that the situation is going to change miraculously, he can do that, but the perspective on the situation changed. Like the burden that I was carrying, I did not have to carry it anymore. And this is why I'm excited about bringing believers on here, because no, we're not going to minimize the God that we serve, that got us through in a pandemic, sitting here on March 28, 2022, based on all that we all collectively and individually gone through where we weren't supposed to be here. So I'm going to have a big mouth for Christ. I'm not going to play games with the gift. I'm not going to minimize what the next platform need in order to get this, that, and the third. We about the lessons over here, not the lights. And so if there's anyone over here that you are in your season of, you want to break free and you need some resources, accountability, so you can dust yourself off and allow God to come in and do what he needs to do. That's the essence of social work. Social work is breaded in ministry. It's like before they even make these pretty names and make these qualifications and all of the things. Yes, we've learned a lot, but you give me a social worker with street creed, some pain, some ups and downs, the selling of this, that, and the third, and the breakthrough and deliverance, you water down how God can use you because your path maybe wasn't college, or your path maybe wasn't, working over here or there. You are qualified and gifted. He gift and qualify those he called. So whether you got all of us got a PhD in life. A lot of us still figuring things out as we go. But we don't want to put this out here like we have all the tools and the keys as social workers that can fix you. We are not powerful to fix anyone. That's
Amen.
God's job. He saw fit for us to be a seed, and the systems that set before us are not designed to give the outcome we need. So we have to go and do this community-based social work where we can get at you in a way that the systems don't otherwise allow, or we don't have the type of time that we need to pour into you and give you the tools you need to pick yourself up. So that's why I'm really glad I'm always reaching out to you, because you do keep it real. You are very, very relatable. You are very you very diverse and eclectic. Okay, we keep it hood, and we know how to go over here and do it this way, and I know how to do it this way. There's nothing negative or wrong about being neighborhood. It's rich in culture. We keep it 100. Give me the food stamps on this month. Lord, I thank you for giving me a home loan over here.
Amen.
And so we just want to pour that into you guys. Yvette is over in New York. We're going to be mindful of her time. If you guys need anything, Yvette, what's your link for your book that you got? Now, I know I'm just going to say this. I need to say this. A lot of times when we're doing social work, and this is our call and our gift, I encounter people that say, well, that's not my issue. I don't do crack. I don't do meth. But some of y'all, if y'all can relate, you a workaholic, a churchaholic. You do things out of obligation. You do things without thinking it out. So God doesn't look at things, oh, okay, you a workaholic, you a meth head, or you a crackhead. He looks at it all the same. So let's just be mindful that we're not judging anyone. Because your stuff don't stink this way and that way, we're not going to even do all the mind drama with that. All we're saying is if you are at a space in your life and you are bold enough and not have to go through life on your own, trying to figure stuff out, laid up on that couch and that bed, waiting for a program to court order you to something, knocking on your door, when you can go within yourself and say, you know what? I'm not going to carry this anger with me to 2022. I'm not going to, share all of this madness with my seeds that I asked God to bless me with. Now they hear you want to be gutter with them because you have some unresolved stuff. We're not talking at you. We're talking with you. And some of this stuff, Yvette, can you relate? We can relate to some of this stuff. That's why we know God called us, that we can be our natural self and share our journey and be on the journey with you guys. Any final remarks on that, Yvette?
No. You was asking me for the link to my book, and then
oh, girl, I get excited, but we're gonna be mindful. I'm always gonna have you on. You my girl. I want to. Listen. Look at my girl over there. That is my girl, and I tell people, Yvette, I know when I'm up out here, and I'm looking, and I'm like, Lord, send me somebody that keep it 100. Like we can have a whole lot of fun because y'all. That's just the lingo. We want you to understand we in this together.
Yeah.
But we also gonna let you know, sis, we not finna carry your stuff, whether it's a family member or not. Sis, it take me a full-time job to keep my crazy together. Sis said you got to make up your mind.
Yeah.
Because we not finna relapse and take on all of that stuff. You have free will and free choice. And there's hope on the other side. Because look at baby girl. Yvette, her last name, Battle what?
Yes.
And got her master's during the pandemic. What?
Yes.
Girl, I could get all crazy with this. Okay, sis. Okay, let's put that link down. Okay, look, as my voice go down to the library voice.
Is it in there? Or no, that won't go on the screen, will it?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Let's put it in.
No.
It's YvetteBattle.com.
Yes, ma'am. www.yvettebattle.com.
Yvette Battle. And that's your first book. What was it about? Kind of like your journey, Yvette?
My whole life from childhood, from where I'm at, it just shows the intersectional situations that led to the addiction and like from a childhood, like growing up very well off, and then just my whole experiences dealing with colorism and
Okay.
reversalism, and because that is a thing. Um,
Yes.
just experimenting with the party lifestyle, and then it ended up being drugs, and from a stripper to street prostitution to deliverance, college, and I think the book ended right before I graduated because I was writing the book my first semester of my advanced standing. So my second book is called It Was All Necessary. The next book that I'm writing is titled It's Okay to Not Be Okay All the Time. And it's
Yes.
about toxic positivity and it's feeling all your experiences, not trying to suppress them and rush through the process. There's stages of grief, and that's not only for physical loss. That is any process. You have stages. And so, sometimes I'm not okay. I love being a wife, but I'm not always okay. I love being a mom. I'm not always okay. And
Right.
that's okay because
Yes.
I can experience, if God said there's a time to cry, there's a time to laugh, like there's a time to be living, time to be, to die. So there's a time to not be okay, but that helps you appreciate the sunshine. So that's what the book is about. And I thought I asked you, I was asking people for inserts because I wanted to add it to the book about just a short insert of a time where you wasn't okay, but you knew you was gonna be okay. And
Yes.
did I ask you? I thought I tagged you. Well,
I,
I'm
I'll probably have to look and see. I love that.
So I'm asking now if you would be honored to add to my book. So I got like
Yes.
20 people that are adding, about, I think it's like 700 words of just, sharing a situation where, you wasn't okay, but you knew you was going to be okay, but
Okay.
you wasn't, and you allowed yourself to feel it, or you wish you allowed yourself to feel it. My first lady is writing forward to that book. So yeah.
Oh, praise God. Okay. Thank you so much. And
Thank-
you greetings from New York and your church body, your church family, your covering, your husband, your babies. I am just super honored. I'm so glad that you were able to join us today. I know we're going to be doing some amazing things together with the Lord guiding our path. And I want to just say thank you so much. You guys share this with someone. That's YvetteBattle.com. There's a load of information there that can help. And as we go into Easter, Mother's Day, all the birthday, beautiful things you guys are out there doing, consider giving people the gift of hope, the gift of bounce back when life brings you setbacks. Being real and raw with your conversations and not trying to be superwoman. So we're
yeah.
gonna burn a superwoman cape. We're gonna give God all the glory in the story, and we're gonna continue social working on. And we need all bodies on deck because we are under some kind of attacks on all levels. And so we want you to know that if you sitting here or laying there, girl, get up. God is waiting on you. You got Yvette as a resource. You have countless other social workers, and we are going to get through this together. This is our lunch and learn for today. We're going to end here. Never will we say goodbye. We will say see you later. We want to thank Yvette from New York.
Thank you for having me here. I'm a Yonkers baby. We in Yonkers, right? Yeah.
There's my pastor son. Hey,
Yeah.
that's my anointed child. You know I adopted you. Yep. That's my handsome. He had a birthday.
Yeah.
Oh,
March 10th, March 1st was his birthday.
yep. You know you a March baby, handsome. Did you know I said that's an anointed young man?
Will you stop it?
The Lion King, give my
He
baby.
didn't go. I don't know why he did that. So
That's okay. He giving you some mama. I want to go to Lion King. Ain't he gonna hook you up? I can't wait to meet you, handsome. Bye, handsome. Get some hands. See you later.
bye.
Girl, I got so many online nephews and
Right.
besties that's one of mine. That boy is anointed. You hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. All right. Well, you enjoy.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. I'll see you soon, my love. Bye, handsome.
Bye.
Bye.